Yeah. So this is the first time two black quarterbacks played each
Yes,
other in the Super
sir.
Bowl. All right.
Mm-hmm.
There's some black history fact for you right there. All right.
Spoilers. We got a show next week, so goodness.
All right. So let's talk some Lamar.
Jesus, man.
Will Lamar be the first black quarterback to not get his money after winning after being elite MVP?
Yeah. No, he's going to get his money. He's not going to get it from Baltimore.
Oh yeah.
They're saying that the plan is to franchise tag Lamar Jackson. Now, if they go with the non-exclusive franchise tag, that's about 32 million, a little over 32 million. If they go with the exclusive franchise tag, the exclusive franchise tag will be over 40. It's not fully set yet. They wait until after free agency to set that number exactly. But yeah, like Hendo said on his show, if you saw him streaming the other day, on Twitter maybe it was, but you don't want to be talking about the non-exclusive franchise tag with Lamar Jackson because everyone will sign him. Everyone will attempt to sign him and give him the money. The teams will be falling all over themselves to give Lamar Jackson the money that he's looking for, and then you have to match it or trade him away.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to be looking at the non-exclusive or the exclusive franchise tag, excuse me. And for Baltimore, who is currently about 28 million under the cap with about 20 free agents who all actually play for Baltimore, they're just not going to be able to do it.
Yeah. So yes, it had to be an exclusive franchise tag. Obviously, that's 45 million or around, over 40 million.
Yeah.
Well, and listen, this tells me that they plan on moving from Lamar, right? Because we're not at the deadline for a franchise tag yet. No. This should not even be something that they're thinking about, right? They should just be thinking we need to get the deal done. Now, yes, if they say, hey, if we don't get the deal done, that's the last option, right? Yeah. Shout out to Ray Veron. Ray Veron says, at the end of the day, we all win in starting black quarterbacks. Or a starting black quarterback will be champion in 2 weeks. That's a fact. I appreciate the donation. But maybe the report from Ian Rappaport was a little misleading. Maybe they're saying, hey, if we don't get the deal done, the plan will be to franchise tag them. But what he said was they intend to franchise tag them. So that tells me you're not looking to negotiate.
Well, they don't think they're going to get a deal done because they're not going to give him the money he wants.
Yeah, and I just think this is just a bad look by the organization. I think, man, they're showing their weakness right now. Yeah, I'm going to call them weak, man. Money should not be an issue. You have the money. You can pay the money. He's not going to ask you for something that's going to put you, Steve Bisciotti ain't going to end up like Mark Davis, right? Where he just can't afford to fire his coach, where he needs investors to come in to help him pay some bills. It's not going to be that situation. Steve Bisciotti's got the money to put in escrow to pay the money up front, right? It's not even like he's losing anything on this. He just needs to put up a little bit of upfront money. It comes from the player's pool. You have the money to pay him, right? It doesn't matter who else gets paid after that. You didn't invest in him to begin with. So you can't use that excuse. You can't say, well, we'll have to cut players. Man, B just read you a list of free agents coming up this year on the last show. They can all go. Yeah. Most of them. I think we said like one or two can stay, right? One of them was Lamar.
Right.
So, I mean, there's no excuse. There's no reason, right? You're saying, oh, it takes two to tango, suggesting that maybe it's on him. They're trying to talk to him. They tried this last year. Oh, they're trying to talk to him, and he's not picking up the phone. Well, you didn't offer him anything substantial, right? You know what he wants. Pay it to him, and let's get this show going. You have a lot of work to do, but if you're saying, yeah, you plan on tagging him, this will drag out. That tells me if Lamar wants to play hardball, that tells me this team is going nowhere next year, because if he wants to play hardball, he doesn't have to sign the franchise tag. He can get tagged and just wait it out. And while he's tagged, that $40 to $45 million hits the cap instantly, whether he signs the tag or not. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's weird that you say that they have a lot of work to do, right? And it's true. They have holes to fill, major holes on the offensive side. But it's odd because since Lamar got drafted, they've had 37 picks over those 4 years, right? Now you get 7 picks. So, you should have had 28 players came in, but they had an extra 9 players come in. And why is it that a team that has so many picks, that values picks so greatly, who wants, more bites at the apple, like they always say, who always looks so good in the preseason because of their depth, right? You
Mhm.
have that long preseason winning streak, that record preseason winning streak because of all these draft picks and the depth on the team and how you coach them up and everything. How is it that every single year, you know, 1, 2 injuries, and you're like, oh my God, we
We
don't
need
have
help.
any corners. Oh my God, we don't have any receivers. Oh my God, what's going on with the O line? Oh my God, why is Mike Davis playing running back? Right.
Mm.
So you have all of these extra picks that you use. And I mean, if we're being real, the front office and the fans use that as an excuse as to why they don't go out and get high priced free agents. But every time you actually start playing real games, that depth falls down. It's not real. It's
Right.
not there. It doesn't show up for you. So who cares about bringing any of those guys back?
Yeah.
Right? Like when you need them to step up and play, they don't do it.
Yeah.
Now you could call that a coaching issue. I think it is in some cases. You could call it a player, a personnel issue that those guys just aren't good enough. And then, that calls EDC into question, right?
Mm.
But regardless, you don't have this vaunted depth that Baltimore is always talking about in the offseason. So all those guys can go, right?
Yeah.
And you take all the money that you would have paid those 15 plus free agents, and you go get yourself a DeAndre Hopkins or a Mike Evans, and the team is going to be much better for it, right? I just don't get why Baltimore continues down this same path that they've been on for years. We're like, hey, we build through the draft. We got to get all the picks we can get. We got to get the comp picks. We don't want to spend big in free agency, fiscal responsibility and all this. And every single year, the rest of the league, the other 31 teams show you that's not the way.
Yeah.
They show you that that path doesn't work.